and welcome to another video. So today's video I have carefully planned to be a talk through video because I wanted to make sure that I could in real time kind of react and talk you through what I did in my planners and journals for the month of July. If you saw my 2023-2024 planner lineup, then you might notice that there are a couple of extra things in here that weren't in that lineup. So let's take them one at a time and I'll show you what happened in the month of July. First, we have my trusty catch-all. This is my Erin Condren academic planner in the Star Wars edition. So let's start with the month of July. This planner actually started at the very last week of June the 26th. So that's where we start. I have here my very first weekly to-do list and memory keeping page. You've got the divider. My July monthly was very simple. I just put a little bit of washi for deco and a couple of quotes. As you can see here, I did cross off the days as they happened, at least up until the very last couple, and that's mostly because it's the summer and I was losing track of what day it was because I am a high school teacher, so I'm not working a regular schedule right now, or at all really. Sometimes I work, but not this particular summer. So yeah, I had to just cross stuff out. Over here, I put a list of things I wanted to do on a weekly basis so I could check them off every week. Here we've got a set of goals, a video tracker, another to-do list, a list of mail that I wanted to make sure I got. We did move in the month of July, and so I wanted to keep track of mail to make sure that everything was getting where it should go. This projects and exams page I did not use because I wasn't taking any classes in July. And then we get into the first week of June. There is a plan with me up for this particular spread. I used the Happy Planner Nordic Rights sticker book. This is the first week in our new place, and I believe I used the Happy Planner Wild Plans. I really liked the neutral colors here. This one was more of an experiment, and there's not a plan with me up for it. I was using the Bookish sticker book, and that's a sticker book I have had for at least 2 years, I think, and it has, I've used a lot of it. So I was working with the scraps of the scraps. I've almost used the whole sticker book, and then I threw in some of this washi from the Coffee Monsters Co. This week I used the Whimsical Seasons or something like that from the Happy Planner. There is a plan with me up for this particular spread. I really loved the pinks and oranges. And then this, I think, is the last spread in July. It ends on July the 30th. And for this one, I used some cherry blossom stickers I got from a Sticky Club subscription, some washi tape from the Coffee Monsters Co., and some solid colored washi I got from, I think it was Amazon, maybe, including this cherry blossom washi. So this was a fun week. I really enjoyed it. And then we get into the notes pages at the end of the book and or at the end of the weeks, and these I was using as a running to-do list for the week plus memory keeping. So you can see here that I was coordinating the themes of these pages with the themes of the corresponding weekly pages. So we've got Wild Plans, we have the Bookish sticker book, and then the what was it called? Whimsical Seasons or Whimsy Seasons or Seasonal Whimsy, something like that. And then the Sticky Club subscription. And these are really fun to keep. I really enjoy them. This was my favorite. As you can see here, I stopped using the running to-do list. I put this long sticker here to use as a running to-do list, and then I stopped, and that's because I brought in another planner. So we'll talk about why I'm not using the running weekly to-do list on here anymore in just a second. This very last notes page I used for some budget notes. And that's it for this planner. So that's the first one. The reason that I'm not using the running to-do list is that I have brought back out my Moxie Life. So I thought this was going to be my catch-all planner for 2023. It was not. I went through a whole digital planning phase in the beginning part of 2023. The first like quarter or so, I was really hardcore transitioning everything to digital planning. And as you can see, I got tired of that. But I stopped using my Moxie Life. I didn't want to use the vertical spread, but I really love the Moxie Life system, and I've been using some version of it all year in my digital planning, in my weekly planning, and journaling. Like, I've been using it everywhere. The 8 areas of life, I've been referencing it all year in my planning and in my goal setting. I check in with my goals every single month, sometimes weekly. And so I really love that system and decided I wanted to go back to it. But there were 6 months I wasn't going to use. So I deconstructed the whole planner, put it on discs, took out the first 6 months so that I have just this little thin situation here with just what I'm going to need in this last part of the year. So I rewrote my goals on just a random piece of note paper. And the pages don't turn super well because in order to go from the O-ring to the discs, I had to manually cut little slits every other hole, and they aren't perfectly spaced because I just used a pair of scissors. But that's okay. I'm treating this more like a workbook than a planner right now. So I have a couple more notes pages, and then we get into July. So for July in here, I moved my goals, and at some point I'll probably do a really detailed plan with me where I take you through kind of what my goals look like in the monthly section and the weekly section and how that gets transformed into my like day-to-day plans. But for now, here's where we are. This actually went quite well. And then after this, there is before this, there was the monthly spread, but I taped those 2 pages together because I wasn't using them. And then after this, there would have been a weekly spread, I think. I took out a couple weekly spreads and just like pasted them together because I only wanted to use the weekly reflections and the weekly actions. And the weekly action items have become my weekly brain dump for all the things that I want to do and my running to-do list. So basically, this is where I have been putting things I want to get done in a week, categorizing them by area of life, and making sure that they're in line with my goals rather than just one to-do list in the back of my planner. So as you can see, for July, I think I only have a couple of weeks in July. I brought this out like partway through July, took away the weeks and pasted them together so that I only had this piece. That's my Moxie Life. I do like that the band still works because it keeps it all nice and together. I don't know, I really like it. I really wanted this planner to work because I love this cover, but it didn't, not for regular weekly planning. From my lineup video, we've got my Stylogy. I have stopped using this for now. It's just a notebook though, so I can always come back if the need arises. What I did want to take the time to do was show you just a couple of pages for how I was using it. So I did set up a July cover page. And then each daily entry, I just marked with a stripe for the date and then a little chunk for like my journaling for the day. So this was kept really, really simple, but I switched it up. So we'll get to that here in a minute. For my reading journal, the Happy Planner, Mini Happy Planner is actually working quite well. I'm still enjoying it. I turned this column from a goals section into a one-day read section because I actually had a book where I read it in a single day, and that was really, really fun. As you can see, I got quite a few books finished in July. here is my book tracker, and this dark line just delineates a month. So these were the 2 books I read in June, and then the 5 books I read in July. Page tracking here is also going quite well. I've started using, I think it's Bookmori is the app. If that's not what it's called, I'll put the title somewhere on the screen, but it tracks my pages, which is super nice. I don't even have to calculate and remember like the start and end pages and calculate it myself. Every day I just update where I am, and it automatically does the difference between the last day so that I know exactly how many more pages I've read, and that has made this really easy to keep track of. Then we get here. So this is my TBR. I got through 3 of the books on the TBR. I really enjoyed Radium Girls. I read My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. This was the one-day read. It was really fun to read. I don't know, it was just really funny. Like, not a lot of books make me like sincerely just laugh, and this one was really funny. Then I also read Anatomy by Dana Schwartz. This book was pretty good. Did you hear that? That was wild. Okay. Anyway, this book was pretty good, but I don't know. I didn't like the ending. So, I don't know, but that one was alright. The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor was a beautiful book, and it was really good. Highly recommend. I read that one in a couple of days. And I haven't finished filling out my entry for The Will of the Many. This is James Islington's newest book, and it was amazing. Very good. So I had like 4 5-star reads and 1 4-star read in July. It was a really good reading month. I had a good time. Books on my TBR I didn't get to. I DNF'd or did not finish Swan Song by Robert McCummon. I got like halfway through it, but I just wasn't interested. I didn't like the narrator. I was listening to it on audiobook. It was just a really morbid, morose book. And I mean, it's about like a nuclear holocaust and some weird magic stuff that happens after. It was not a good time. Then The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna is the second in a trilogy, and I read the first book 2 years ago. So getting into this one has been rough. I haven't DNF'd it yet, but I did finish it in July. This is what my finished monthly page looks like, and this is too much. I found that the book covers, especially when I finished books with like close proximity, was just overwhelming for the page. So as you can see here, I started to just do the like format that I'm reading in. Most of them are ebooks, and then the title, so that I can keep track that way, and hopefully the page won't look quite so cluttered. This is a preview of what it's looking like in August. I started reading The Bodyguard, and I really like this combination here in a particular day for the book I'm reading and then the format I'm reading. This started reading sticker I made myself, but they are like formatted off of some other stickers I have by Creating & Co. So I'm gonna try that in August, and I'll show you how it goes when we get there. Then we've got the actual weekly pages, and it was pretty good. It was a good time. I didn't do a ton this week because we were moving, and then I started to do reading and journaling very regularly, and I like alternating between like putting little snippets of what I thought about the book versus little quotes that stood out to me. It was really fun, and I just like flipping through it and looking at the writing and the stickers. When I start a book, I'll put the picture of the book cover there and then jot down my initial thoughts. This one took me by surprise because when I first started reading The Mountain in the Sea, I thought it was really slow and hard to like get into the first 40 pages or so. But then the next day not the next day, even like 2 days later, when I went back to it and really sat down to sit with it and read for like a few hours, I ended up reading half the book in one sitting, and it was a good time. So yeah, that one was fun. And then here in the last part of July, I lost some steam, in part because The Merciless Ones, I started it and had a hard time getting into it. Not really due to anything about the book in particular. It's just, even though I read a book summary of the first book before I started, it's a whole fantasy world that it's been 2 years since I have even thought about. So it's a little rough to kind of get back in the swing of things, but yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna see. But no reading in this last few days of July. For August, I do have 2 books on the TBR so far. The first one I've started, The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, and the other one is What the Dog Saw by Malcolm Gladwell. This is nonfiction, this is fiction. I do enjoy, or I'm trying to be more conscientious of bringing in an occasional nonfiction book. So that's what I picked. We'll see how it goes. And that is my reading journal for the month of July. Now this was the game changer in the month of July. I did not plan to use a daily planner. Didn't plan to go back to my daily passion planner. And yet here we are. So the last time I touched this, okay, because there was a time I finished a whole passion planner. There's a flip through on my channel. My first passion planner, went through all of it, got this one. I lost steam with the passion planner because there was this big sale and I had ordered a set of 4, because after this one I had bought like another year's worth, and then it got lost in the mail and I never got it, and I asked for a refund and they managed to be able to do that for me, and then I just didn't want to order it again because I didn't trust the post office to get it to me. There was a period of time when FedEx had a really hard time finding my apartment and everything got lost, so I just didn't order again and I kind of fell off. The last time I used this planner was in December 17th, 2021, I think. So it was like, it's been a long time. But the Passion Planner Daily is undated. Oh, squeaky. It's undated, so you can jump back in whenever, and that's what I did. So I did set up a monthly here, just a reference, because this is probably what I'm going to end up throwing in my work bag to take with me on a daily basis. My Erin Condren Academic, I don't think I'm going to carry with me. It's a little bigger. This is probably what I will take. And then I started using these tabs that I got. Oh, this biting is squeaking on the table. I'm sorry about that. I got these tabs from the Sticky Club year and a half ago. It's been a little while, but I'm using them to delineate weeks, so week 1, week 2, week 3, because these are only 3-month planners, because every day is a 2-page spread, which I have been having like a ton of fun with. So I'm gonna show you the pages in here that I set up for the month of July. So this is the 24th, and oh, it's so much fun. I like using this page to journal. Right, so I've got chunks here. I like using this section to just kind of keep track of, you know, what I do during the day, and if I have an appointment. These days I don't have many appointments, but that will be changing very soon. Where it says game changer goal, I actually started to use that for gratitude. I wasn't doing that yet here. Personal work is part work in the sense that for my new district, I'm working on making sure I complete all my onboarding tasks, as well as school. So I am enrolling in a graduate program, and this is really going to mostly be made up of school stuff for me. In the free space to grow, I typically put an affirmation. I really like these cards that I got from Amazon, and they're called the Affirmators, and I think they're just fun. They are affirmation cards that market themselves as without the self-helpiness. So they have nice messages, but they're not like overly cheesy, and they're kind of funny, and I like them. They're very fun. So I almost always take one for the day, look at it, read it, think about it, and then I'll make some note here about the card for the day. The self-maintenance I use for what I did that day to like take care of myself, and that's often like a chore I'm really proud of because it made me feel better, or a break that I took, or a nap I really needed, like that kind of thing. And then the best thing that happened, I use as is. Today, one word, I use as is. Mood, I use as is. Hang on. There is this Today I Learned section, and I often use that as is, but if I want to add a bit more decoration to the page, this is the first section that I'll cover up. And I don't use the today's focus, and the date, I'll change where I choose to put the date. So this was the 24th. I pulled in some more stickers from that Sticky Club subscription. Here I pulled from Cozy Critters by the Happy Planner, and this boba washi tape from Simply Gilded. This is one of my favorite pages. These crystals from Planning with Kay are one of my favorite themes that she's ever done. She does bullet journal themes, and so like this is technically designed to be like the header for a bullet journal page, but I used it to mark my date. Here I've started to use this for gratitude. As you can see here, I had a really long to-do list, so I split the personal into 2 columns, and that worked out really well. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. It was a good time. Here I pulled some of these plant stickers from the Happy Illustration sticker book by the Happy Planner. Brought in some green because up until then I had been using a ton of pink as my accent color. And truthfully, that won't stop. Pink is my favorite color. But today I decided to mix it up a bit. Friday, I pulled a couple of stickers from the Playful Tile sticker book, I think is what it's called. And then I didn't pull an affirmation, so I didn't even put anything in that box. I just left it there. It's fine. Here we've got July the 29th. These little cute critters and their snacks are from the Sticky Club. I used the Sticky Club subscription for quite a while, like 3 or 4 months, and I was subscribed to all 3 packs. They have packs for different themes. There's a pop pack that has slightly edgier stickers, a cute pack that has really cutesy little stickers, and then a vintage pack that has more vintage type stickers. And for a while I was subscribed to all 3. And then I canceled it because I wasn't using them as much. And I recently resubscribed to the pop pack, so we'll see more of them. I do quite like the Sticky Club and the way their subscriptions work. I got a migraine on this day. That was like so rude, okay, of my head. I did not enjoy that. I woke up with it and it was not fun. It was not a good time. Alright, so this is the 30th. And I pulled more from Cozy Critters. And then the last day in July, the 31st, these are vinyl stickers I got in a random assortment pack from Temu. And then this is a book washi tape from Creating & Co. So, where is it? Oh, here it is. So when did I start to do that? Right here. So these are my habits, and my habits for a while I was keeping track of in this column of my catch-all, and this is the first week where I am not doing that. And in my next plan with me, you'll see kind of how I choose to decorate my spread now that I'm not keeping these just for habits. This highlight for gratitude, I'm also not putting in there anymore. I've moved them here. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how it will go. Really, I tend to use it daily most when I have new routines and new schedules happening. Like every time I move or I'm starting a new job or a new program, I feel the need to be in a daily planner because it gives me tons of space to think and write stuff out, take notes, and like figure out how my life is going to work in whatever new situation I'm in. So I don't know how long I'll be in this, but for now I'm finding it very helpful. Phew. And with that, we have all of my planners and journals for the month of July. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.